beginning, he was a great, he just latched right on. It would kill me every time that he would. No one ever told me that I could do that. The milk will spray everywhere and I feel close to my baby every time I nurse. Hey everyone, it's Lily, and today I'm going to be doing a breastfeeding update. Luke is getting huge and you can see that mama's breast milk is working. He's got a bib on because this boy is a spitter. I could probably count on one hand how many times Liam spit up, but Luke spits up every time I feed him. I was talking to you guys before about him projectile vomiting, and thank goodness he stopped doing that. Now he's just a spitter upper, so I have to put bibs on him and always have a burp rag or a receiving blanket handy when I'm feeding him. So I wanted to give you a little update on how breastfeeding is going. From the beginning, he was a great, he just latched right on. We had no problems. Luckily with Liam, I didn't have any problems as well. I always remembered some advice my friend gave me, who was a lactation consultant. She said, when they go in to nurse for the very first time, you want to make sure that their mouth is wide open, like they're going for a cheeseburger. So I always remember that, and I wouldn't let the baby latch on until he was like, ah, like he just wanted to go for it. And boom, I never had any problems with them latching on with Liam or Luke. Up until probably a week and almost 2 weeks ago, so he's about to be 2 months, it would kill me every time that he would latch on. I'd have to like brace myself for like, you know, a few seconds. Those first initial sucks were like death, and then it was like okay. But it lasted for like a full month and a half that it would feel that way. But it finally went away. I guess I was saying that I think my nipples needed to like callus a little bit, and we're there because it doesn't hurt anymore. Poor Luke. Almost like half the times when he breastfeeds, he's like, he sounds like just it's his last feed ever and he's getting the most out of it. It's so funny how he's just like, oh my gosh, I have to have a, like he'll latch off, the milk will spray everywhere, and it can be a huge catastrophe. So like, I can't even make the mistake to go without a rag or something next to me because he will unlatch, the milk will go everywhere. So I have to be like, watching out for when that does happen, because he's just like, he just can't get enough. And I don't know, sometimes maybe I should pump a little more because my milk comes in like too strong for him. So I'm pretty much really comfortable with nursing anywhere. I just take my nursing, I make sure and take my nursing cover everywhere. But one thing that I'm doing differently is I have been pumping, and I can actually leave the baby when I have to go somewhere, which is like such a foreign concept because with Liam I did not do that. It's almost as if no one ever told me that I could do that. So for like a full year, really until he was like, okay, maybe when he started eating solids, but I would say for like the first like 9 months I couldn't do anything. How appropriate that Luke wanted to latch on while I'm talking about breastfeeding. So for the first 9 months with Liam, I could not go anywhere. I couldn't leave him with his dad, nobody, because his food was attached to me. And when we started introducing him to solids, it was a little easier, but I was like a prisoner. And so which I was fine with that. I thought that was like the only way that you did it. Like you breastfeed, you don't pump. I don't know. It's like I said, no one ever told me that I could like pump, put it in a bottle. And I was pumping and putting them in little bags, but I really didn't know like what I was going to do with that. Like, whatever. And then I had never really trained the baby to take a bottle, so it was just like pointless for me to pump and store it because Liam didn't even know how to take a bottle. But with Luke, I learned my lesson and I did it. I pumped, and one day I just took the time. I tried a few different nipples in a bottle and I was just feeding it to him. A lot of people say that you shouldn't because they're used to nursing from you, but I was like, whatever, I gotta start training him somehow. You know, they say maybe the dad or grandma, someone else should do it, but I just started messing with his mouth. What I would do is take the nipple of the bottle and just rub it up against his gums and let him taste the milk, and he would kind of suck. And I gotta say, it took me like two different, I tried the Medela bottles that you pump into, and he didn't really take on to those. And then I tried a Similac bottle, which I only have one of those. The Medela, I had a bunch of those, and that nipple he took to. But maybe I just had more patience. But it took me about 20 minutes to sit there before he actually like sucked. And drank the whole bottle. So when we went on this road trip, I took my pump with me and we were able to stay on the road a little longer because we would just feed him his bottle. And so I'm really excited about that. That's like, woohoo, that made my year, because like I said, I didn't even know that it was an option with Liam. So I'm really excited. Like tonight we're going out. That's why I'm all dressed up, but we're going out on a date and I get to leave the baby and Liam. How cool is that? I'm not really like a scheduled person, you guys. I just like breastfeed on demand. Every time he sleeps, I feed him. He wakes up, he cries, I feed him. Whenever he wants, I feed him. The babies kind of regulate themselves, so he's pretty much regulated how often he does, and my boobs sure tell me when it's time. I will feel it, and it's so funny. I find it like all of a sudden my boobs will hurt. The baby will be sleeping. I'm like, oh, my milk's coming in, and I'll hear him whimpering. I'm like, oh, perfect timing, because it's like my boobs and the baby are in sync. So you'll kind of like get in sync with your breastfeeding. But yeah, we're like, I really have like no complaints. I know that if I had to deal with that pain that I had the first like 6 weeks, it would be very challenging to continue nursing, but it went away, thank goodness. So have patience. If it's really hurting you a lot in the beginning, just know that it could get better. So don't just be so quick to give up. I would at least try for 2 to 3 months before you're like, okay, this is too painful. But I'm working on a video now, how to be a fearless breastfeeder. It's gonna be kind of a comedy thing, but we were trick-or-treating the other day and the baby was sleeping, and I brought my nursing cover because I'm like, oh, it's kind of around feeding time. And he woke up. Sure enough, he wanted to feed. I just put my cover on, latched the baby on, and we were out. I just was holding him while we were trick-or-treating. And so I just wanted to show you some quick tips on how you can just be comfortable and confident to just breastfeed anywhere and not be embarrassed. Or it's really just about how comfortable, how confident you are with it. If you're acting all nervous and you're all stressed out about it, then everyone else will be too. But if you're just comfortable, put on your nursing cover and you just latch the baby on and you keep talking, then people will kind of like just not even realize what you're doing and just not make a big deal out of it either. I'm still loving it. It is worth any pain that you have to go through. It's just beautiful bonding. I feel close to my baby every time I nurse, and I just love it. Go breastfeeders. All right, guys, I'll see you in the next one. Bye.
What I believe, it would have saved me so much grief and time upon my knees.